Hello, my name is Eshaan Akhtar and I am a first year medical student. And in today's video, we are going to be talking about why I'm able to study for 4 hours with no breaks, and also how to stay productive within those 4 hours as well. This video, I just want to put a quick disclaimer out there. It's by all means not telling you that this is the only way to get 100% in your exam or anything like that. Absolutely not. What it is referring to is another study technique which I have found useful over the years and of the countless exams I have done, and how I feel that studying is sort of best situated for me, really. And I'm just sharing this content with you viewers. If you enjoy this study technique and wish to try it out, by all means you can do so. If you want any study tips on how I implement this technique into my day-to-day routine as a medical student, you can also DM me on Instagram, or you can leave a comment on this video, and I'm happy to respond to all the comments that come. I'll spend some time after the video is released to just help support people who are in the comment section. So with that being said, there are a lot of sort of criticism that is out there with this type of studying. A lot of people say that it's not very efficient, it's not very productive. Actually, it's a false sense of security that you are studying for 4 hours when in essence you're only absorbing the knowledge of just sort of studying for 1 hour. So the with everything, that is sort of a pros and cons, but ultimately in this video we're just going to be emphasizing on mainly what the studying technique is, rather than dwelling into sort of the intricacies of it. So if you enjoyed today's video, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, and share with family and friends. And let's get into the key points of today's video. So I'm going to be focusing on two key points in this video, and that is looking at the why and looking at the how. Now, the reason why I want to look at these two key points is because I think it's very important for us to understand the reason why I'm able to study for 4 hours and stay productive with no breaks, but also understand how I do it as well. Now, we'll start off with the why, because that seems to be sort of the longer section, and something which, of course, holds a bit more importance as opposed to you, as someone who's watching as a viewer. Now, when we look at the why, a lot of the time we sort of focus on things like, oh, it's because we need to get the best grades, or because I need the grades to get into a particular degree. But what we don't focus on is the current moment. I know we have sort of goals which are sort of long term, but just in that short moment, that short term sort of goal for that particular study session, why don't we try focusing on the sense of fulfillment that we're going to get after accomplishing something like completing a study session? Why don't we talk about how it's going to make us feel a lot more positive? I feel like when we try to think about the longer term goals, it just feels a lot more overwhelming. It feels a lot more mentally draining because we just sort of see the big task ahead of us. And I think what I've sort of done over the years and over the countless exams I've done, I've tried to change my mentality. And I've sort of made a video on this about how to study for exams and stay motivated. So I won't dwell on this bit too much, but just to sort of illustrate it again in this video, the mentality of an individual is very important before anything, really. Whether it's playing a sporting game, whether it's playing a video game, whether it's doing an academic exam, the mentality of an individual is what helps and supports you. So when you're going into something as simple as sort of a studying session, the mentality that you have can really dictate how productive you are within that study session. Now, if I went into the study sessions with the mindset of the long term goals, I would feel quite overwhelmed, because the target that is long term is quite difficult. It's a very big task. And the reason why it seems like a big task is because we're trying to tackle it head on. Now, what these study sessions enable you to do is take a bit away and sort of chip away at your goal, and makes it easier for you to accomplish. And eventually, what you will find is you will start to treat this whole studying thing as a little game where you sort of self motivate yourself and self drive and give you that sort of dedication that actually I need to study for this particular amount of time because I'm only helping myself get closer to my longer term goal. And by changing your mentality and making things look easier for yourself, not only are you being more productive, but you're getting the task at hand done. So you see how just simply changing your outlook on things can make a massive difference in how you tackle things. I think that's a crucial point. A lot of us sort of overwhelm ourselves with things that sort of we don't need to focus on within that current moment in time. So if you are a GCSE or A level student, for example, at the time of filming this video and uploading this video is the month of December. Your exams will be in the summer, around May or June time. So you have roughly 5 to 6 months before your exam. Now, if all you do is focus on just those summer exams as a primary goal, you will find that you will not be able to focus and be as productive within your study session. So, by changing your outlook and simply focusing on that study session alone and focusing on the achievements from that study session, over time, you will sort of develop that inner strength to avoid the disturbances of procrastination. And not only that, you will feel a lot more positive towards studying and actually getting into that zone of studying. So, what we've managed to do is simply within these sort of small minute or two sort of sessions of mind training, if that's what you would like to call it, we've been able to help become a lot more motivated and productive. So, I think this whole segment of the zone of studying is something which I wanted to highlight very much because well, A, I read it from an article. I wanted to share the knowledge. But B, I think the importance of mentality seems to get sort of overlooked when it comes to studying. And I think hopefully this video will help illustrate that just changing your mindset will make it a lot easier for things that you want to accomplish. So certainly give this a go and let me know in the comment section once you've tried it how it goes. When looking at the how, there's a few things that I want to really focus on. And I'm not simply going to give a run through of my day to day routine because what my day to day routine is most likely not your day to day routine. Wow, I actually said day to day a lot there and I said it again. But with that being said, the general principles which I'm going to outline in this segment of the video will hopefully allow you to apply those principles to your routine, and that way you're able to be more productive. Now, we've discussed about the initial zone of studying, so I won't repeat that again. But what now we can do is actually look at the events following the zone of studying and actually look at what do we do when we're in a 4 hour study session and how do we remain positive and how do we remain productive. The reason why I stated those two things is because they're the two things which can in effect stop you from doing a 4 hour study session without having any breaks. So looking at staying positive, what I recommend is after the 4 hour study session, you leave yourself enough room before doing another task to just give yourself a bit of a reward time. Whether that is 60 minutes of playing a video game, whether that is going out for a walk, whether that is playing a game of football with your friend, I don't know. But just something which simply allows you give a reward to yourself. By that, what you're doing is you're mentally training yourself that once you've done the 4 hour study session, you're able to get something that is of benefit to you and that you enjoy. So, that is one method of how to stay positive. Now, looking at how to stay productive, what we need to do is make sure that we are planning beforehand. So, the day before you are planning to do a 4 hour study session with no breaks, you need to have mentally prepared the things that you are going to be focusing on. And once you've mentally prepared those things, then you need to physically actually find the relevant textbooks, find the relevant content on YouTube or any online platform that is being used as an educational service, and actually have those pages open on your device, whether that be a laptop, a PC. You need to have those tabs open. So when you get yourself past the zone of studying, you simply sit at your desk and those things are available to you straight away. Now, once you've done that and you've pre planned your study session, you've automatically started to take the first steps towards being a lot more productive. So, a lot of it is to do with planning, and planning is a key skill, as many of you would know, for exams. Because if you plan well in an exam, you're most likely to do well. So, see how we're already learning the key skills that we need for the summer. This is why this study session works so effectively, because it all revolves around utilizing the key skills that are needed to be doing well in exams. Secondly, what I would also recommend is when you are in your study session to not have any mobile device or any device that has access to things that are distracting. The most important thing, I suppose, which is the same for everyone, is social media. Now, I have to say, as much as it's exciting to come sit down when the notification leaps that Eshaan Akhtar has uploaded a video and you want to come and watch me, I would strongly recommend that you prioritize your studying session. That would make me more happy that you've actually spent your time studying as opposed to coming and sitting down and watching my video whilst you need to study. But as I mentioned about the reward time, my videos are certainly well within a limit of 30 minutes, hopefully. So you can come and watch my videos as a reward, and hopefully benefit from them as well. So I'm helping you out every step of the way here. I'm also telling you what rewards you can be using as well. But the most important thing is that there's no distraction there. And a lot of the time, and a very common excuse that I find is, when I'm studying for 4 hours, I get a bit peckish. So what about when I want to go up and get myself sort of a snack, a bowl of fruit or etc., or I want to get myself a glass of water? Well, where I mentioned about pre-planning, you need to take these things into account as well. So get yourself a bowl of fruit, have it on your desk. Get yourself a glass of water, but then get sort of a glass or two extra just on your desk. Or maybe I would recommend purchasing a 2 liter water bottle, which I'll leave a link in the description below for the water bottle that I use, that you can also use as well. That really helps when for these type of study sessions, because the last thing you want is just to give yourself an excuse to get out of your chair and you've broken that sort of whole zone of studying and the whole mindset thing, and then you're going to have to do it again. So to avoid that happening, get everything that you need that may potentially be causing you any distractions. And I know certainly when I'm doing my 4 hour studying sessions, I get a little bit hungry and I get a little bit thirsty, and all I need is that to be the reason why I say, "Oh, I'm not focusing here. Let me go grab something," and then with that, I'm sat watching TV. I put on Netflix, and 2 to 3 hours later, the studying session is still there, and I have indulged in the next episode of Peaky Blinders. So don't do that. And I strongly recommend to ensure that you are very particular with the things that you need, even to the smallest things such as a spare pencil, spare pen, stationery set. Everything needs to be on your desk and within arm's reach. Because if it is not, that's all you need to get up, leave, and that's it. So we've now been able to overall look at the how and give you all the general principles which you can apply to your day-to-day routine. I think these are very beneficial techniques. If it's not something that floats your boat, then by all means I don't mind you sharing any of the studying techniques that we can go through within these videos and have a discussion about, and just sort of overall have a conversation regarding these different study techniques, because it's a massive topic that's talked about whenever it comes to exam season. I know because I've done countless exams, and every time it's exam season, all students are asking their teachers, what's the best way to study? And despite how amazing our teachers are, it all comes down to yourself as a student and how best you learn as well. So prioritize that. And if this helps, leave a like, follow, subscribe, do all that good stuff. I want to thank you all for being so patient. I've somehow managed to extend this to more than a 10-minute video, which is going to be very difficult for the editing team because it takes them every minute, just adds another half an hour of intricacies that they need to go through. But I want to appreciate all the support that you viewers are giving me. We've hit 100 subscribers. I think it's fantastic, the milestone that we've achieved. So I just want to thank each and every one of you, and I will be hopefully motivating myself to continue making these videos. So yeah, thank you very much, guys, and I'm going to leave it on this note. So if you enjoyed today's video, leave a like, subscribe, and share, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.